Hello, Dutch Mama here. Bible time was really good tonight. We were reading out of the book of Mark, chapter 5. And they came over unto the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship immediately, there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains, because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him. And always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice, and said, What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? I assure thee by God that thou torment me not. For he said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. This guy was acting this way because he was demon possessed. You guys gotta understand, that area, I believe that was the area that had the gates of hell, is what they called it. It was a place where they did horrible things to worship idols. You need to understand, when you worship things that aren't God, you open yourself up to demon possession. This guy, and he asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for we are many. This guy had been the local depository for all the spiritual filth that had been happening as a result of their idol worship. He was possessed by so many demons. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Now there was nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding. And all the devils besought him, saying, Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. And forthwith Jesus gave them leave. And the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. There were about 2,000. That's like a demon per pig. 2,000 demons were tormenting this man and were choked in the sea. I think that was it. And they that fed the swine fled and told it in the city and in the country. And they went out to see what it was that was done. And they come to Jesus and see him that was possessed with the devil and had the legion, sitting and clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. And they that saw it told them how it befell to him that was possessed with the devil, and also concerning the swine. And they began to pray him to depart out of their coasts. Please, just go away. And when he was come into the ship, he that had been possessed with the devil prayed him that he might be with him. Please let me go with you. Howbeit Jesus suffered him not, but saith unto him, Go home to thy friends, and tell them how great things the Lord hath done for thee, and hath had compassion on thee. Okay, so like I said, we got a guy who, probably as a result of the horrific idol worship, they did nasty things to worship that idol, had been possessed by a lot of demons and had been tortured by them. A lot of you may think that asking a demon for help, letting him have access to various parts of your life and personage, would give you power. You don't want that power. Those things want to hurt you because God loves you. Okay. Now these people, they saw Jesus. First of all, this had taken out a good part of their food supply. But here's these demons They were probably glad this man was demon-possessed because at least they knew where the demons were and it wasn't hurting them. Jesus just undoes all that. They don't know where these demons are. Suddenly, their solution to their problem isn't going to work anymore because someone who is bigger than those demons that they were afraid of came and told them what to do. They were afraid of Jesus. So Jesus wipes out their own self-conceived solution to their problem. And they ask him to leave. Jesus leaves, but he doesn't leave them without a solution. See, their idea was, we don't want to stop sinning. We just don't want to have the consequence for that sin. And they didn't like when Jesus said, no, that's not going to be the way it works. But Jesus has had a solution to their demon problem. And that was not let one man live in misery so you don't have to leave your sin. His solution was what he was going to do later. And leaving that one man that he rescued to tell everyone, hey, this Jesus guy's the answer. They wouldn't listen to Jesus about it, but they would listen to this guy. So Jesus left the one guy there. And you know what? Tradition says when that disciples came to tell that region the gospel later, they didn't have to work too hard. Because all they really had to do was fill in the theological gaps. A lot of those people there had believed in Jesus anyway. Jesus gave them the solution. He didn't just say that they weren't, he didn't say, okay, we'll just take away the consequence for your sin. That was not his solution. His solution was, let's take away the sin. Now, there's a lot of things today where we don't want to leave our sin. We just want the consequence for that sin to go away. To either we take a pill and poof, it's gone and we can keep doing whatever we want on Saturday night, or we just move it someplace where we aren't. So someone else has to deal with that consequence and we don't change our sin. These solutions do not work. And God is eventually going to get you to where you have to face the consequences for your sin. The solution is not to get rid of the consequences. The solution is to get rid of the sin. Jesus died so we could do that. It was not that one other guy's job to just be miserable so we don't have to. Jesus took that misery. But he doesn't let us keep our sin. He is the boss. I hope this helps. Have a good day.